Hello, this is Bill. Welcome. In this video, you'll learn how to use our online Split Monogram Maker. Hopefully this software, this website is very easy to use, but let's just spend a minute or two and we'll run through it. Okay, the very first step you want to do is come here to step number 1. You're going to want to enter some characters or some numbers. I'm just going to go ahead and put my last name in all capital letters, and then I'll either press the enter key or press update there to have that take place. And sure enough, my last name is now within this frame in. Well, the next step you're going to want to do is probably come here and choose a different frame. Let's just walk through a couple of them here. Here's a baseball or softball, and we'll be adding more frames in the upcoming weeks. Let me come on down here and let me just choose a couple more here. Here's a heart, and here is a soccer ball. But if I'm taking a look here, if I've got my last name, I may want to have a frame with either an R, and I'll show you a couple of options here. Kind of a fancy R. Here's a fancy R, and there's my last name. And let me do one more here, and let me just choose the simple R right here. Okay, well, there we go. And maybe at this point you're happy with it, and you just come on down here and you'd press on either save in PNG, JPEG, or SVG or PDF format there. Okay, but maybe you want to make some changes here. Some changes you may want to make are the font color. Let me just go ahead and press that, show you that. I'm going to go ahead and change the font color from brown. Maybe let's go with a shade of green. I'll go ahead and press OK, and then make sure you press the update there to apply that color. So now I've got a shade of green. Let's go ahead and change the color of the frame. Right now, kind of this darker blue. Let me go with a brighter blue, and I'll go ahead and press OK. And then again, go ahead and make sure you press the update button to apply that. Okay, looking at some other options, one you may want to do is change the spacing between the characters. Let me just, and here we can see the spacing right now, and I'm going to go ahead and press update, and I'm just going to add like 3 pixels, in effect kind of spacing that out. Well, if you do that, there's a good chance you may have to, I can see it's now slid that all off to the right. And just to let you know, these frames are kind of designed for about 8 characters, but no problem, we can get 20 characters in there if we scale them and decrease the spacing there. So having inserted that additional space using the kerning, you may want to come down here to the horizontal offset and slide that on back to the left. And maybe I'll go with about 10. That will slide that back to the left, so now it's again pretty well centered there. Let me go ahead and come back here to a 0 on the spacing between the characters, and then I'll also change this back to 0 as well and update that, the horizontal offset. Okay, well, you may also want to, if you've got a large name, you may want to come up here and decrease the scaling, the horizontal scaling, and you can see how now I've decreased that, or you may even want to increase that, etc. there. And if I do that, increase it, I would probably want to come along and slide that back off to the left using the horizontal offset there. And let me just go back to 1. Okay, one last thing here is you may want to, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and put this at 3, and then I believe I'm going to have to go ahead and increase or decrease the offset to get that back off to the left here. And update. Okay. Okay, one other step which you may want to do is notice right now the text is touching the frame on the top and the bottom. If you want a little gap there, just come down here to the vertical scaling. Let me just try 0.6, and there we go. If for some reason you want this on the bottom or on the top, you could go ahead and let me just try here +2. That's going to push that on down, and that's kind of touching the bottom. If I was to go up here, up the other direction, a -2, it's now going to raise it, and it would be kind of more, I should have probably went with a -3. I'll tell you what, let me do that, -3. And it will now pretty well be touching the top there. Oh, let me put it back at 0 there. And update. Okay, well that's it. Hopefully you're all set to go. So enter some characters, select your frame, maybe some formatting, and then finally save it in whichever format you want. Well, thank you. I'll catch you later. Bye.